There's a war going on outside no one is safe from. Famous words of the group Mobb Deep, in particular Prodigy. Rest in peace. Man, kids are dying. I'm trying to process this. You know, off the heels of Dante Wright, and you had another kid in Chicago that got killed by a police officer who was running. He was asked to obviously stop. Allegedly, the kid had some type of firearm, gun, handgun. Allegedly. He stopped. The officer said, "Show me your hands." The kid showed him his hands, but that hesitation, the officer just fired one round and into the 13-year-old's chest. Killed him. You have the Indianapolis shooting, the mass shooting. 19-year-old goes into a FedEx facility. Shots ring out. Multiple shots, multiple people shot and killed. 8 people died. 2 19-year-olds that worked there. Apparently, this was an ex-employee of the company. Or contracted out. Sometimes FedEx outsource the deliveries and contract them. They wear the uniforms, but they don't necessarily work for FedEx. So 8 people dead. And I'm not surprised. I'm still shocked, but I'm not surprised because it seems to be happening a lot this year. It was like 45 mass shootings this month alone. So and I'm not here to preach about taking people's guns. I know America love their guns. And I wouldn't feel safe with someone take a gun or take weapons. But these guns get in the hands of individuals, and it's so easy. And you don't know the mindset of people. People get disgruntled. That leads to and build up of rage, and eventually that person acts out, and he's just dumping, and bodies are dropping, and no one knows motives or why. But apparently the mother was concerned about it. And this gentleman who's 19 years old, who allegedly committed these murders, took his own life. The mother had warned authorities that her son could be a candidate of a murders, about police by suicide, and it goes on and on and on. So you got protests in Chicago, you have protests in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. You had the the Derek Chauvin trial going on. That's coming to a near end. So there's no words that you can describe, the atmosphere and the tone of this country right now, because people are taking to guns to let their frustration out. People are dying in the streets every day to gun violence. And the bigger thing is, the bigger question is, where does it end? This is a part of America now. This is part of the culture. And I don't know. I don't have the answers, and I don't see it getting any better. In fact, it's getting worse. So I know the president Biden is frustrated, and he is, it's very frustrating, man. I mean, I'm shook now. I don't go into these crowded places as much as I used to, especially during the COVID pandemic. I don't mess around. I don't go. I might have my intentions to go, but I'm kind of apprehensive, to say the least, to step into a grocery store, a crowded or a lot of people that's around. I don't feel comfortable, and I'm gonna go on my first thought, because that could be the one to save your life. So, in the midst of what's going on throughout the country, these shootings, and it doesn't seem to be. It seems like once COVID is coming to the right now, it's in the red zone, I guess. But it seems like now everything has popped back up. So be careful out there. You have to keep your head on a swivel. You have to, check out your surroundings. You have to kind of analyze people, unfortunately. I mean, you have to do that anyway, where I come from. So, but even more so now, you have to be diligent about, you just don't know. You just don't know. I can't imagine. And I'm pretty sure those folks, those 8 people who lost their lives, couldn't imagine anything like that. They just at work, going about their day. And just like that, lives are changed forever. Loss of life. And you have to have an escape plan when you go in there. You got to figure out how you're going to get out when you go into a store. You gotta do all this. You have to really map out your situation. All right, something jump off. How can I get around this situation? How can I get out? How can I, preserve my life? So, this is where we're at in America. And the gun violence is strong. It is really out there. And there's some troubled souls that's walking around, and they have a lot that they're dealing with. And some of them, unfortunately, choose to deal with it by picking up a gun and letting shots out, throwing shots at people. And it's unfortunate, but this is where we this is what we become. We're a violent country. We like guns. We like to use them. So I don't feel safe. And I don't believe in, I believe in the Second Amendment. You should have a right to bear arms because I'm not safe. I'm not safe. So we got to take a long look, at ourselves right now because it's too much. You can't even get past one situation. I mean, it's hard enough. You're dealing with the kids getting shot, young adults getting shot, police officers pulling people over. Once they pull people over, people are scared, they panicking, they try to escape the police, and the unfortunate event with Daunte Wright. So we have to definitely take a humble look at ourselves as a country. There's a lot of people that's dealing with a lot of stuff and unfortunately, a few of them are turning to the gun for whatever reasons, whatever is going through their minds. Maybe they're deranged, obviously, but the guns are available for people, and that's an issue too. A lot of illegal guns is out there. There are a lot of people that own weapons, multiple weapons. So I'm on the fence a little bit about this one. I'm on the fence with this, being able to protect yourself, owning a gun, gun owners. The fear is that a lot of the liberals, they want to take your guns away. The first thing they say is, they want to eliminate these assault rifles and stuff like that. So, I'm indifferent about it because I do feel people to say, well, if I had my weapon on me, I'm able to take the shooter out and maybe can put him down before he does any more carnage. But at the same time, you could be in a situation where you have a weapon and you're approached by some, riffraff or criminals, and they, get the weapon away from you and shoot you with your own gun. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I'm like anybody else seeking advice on that subject. Without all the yelling back and forth. I like to have a nice discussion, and the whole psychology. Like I said, I'm a little apprehensive, So be safe out there, America, because you never know. People have some issues, and they're armed. So tread lightly, be careful, and stay diligent about your surroundings, and have an escape plan when you go out. Have an exit out. Have a way to dodge if you have to dodge. And I say that with total seriousness because it could save your life. All right. Have a good weekend, everyone. Take care.